Hi students, welcome back. Today I am discussing problems related to rotational dynamics. Our first question. A force F is equal to 4J acts on a particle at 200. The torque about the origin is. We want to find out the torque about the origin. Okay. For this we know that the equation for the torque tau is equal to, torque tau equal to R cross F. Okay, torque is equal to R cross F. R. Okay. The force F is equal to 4J which acts on a particle at 200. Okay, that means R is equal to, how can we write R? R equal to 2I plus 0J plus 0K cross F. F is equal to 4J. Okay, that is equal to 2I cross 4J. That is equal to 4 into 2, 8. I cross J is equal to, I cross J is equal to K. Then we can write 8K. Okay, torque tau is equal to 8K is the answer. Okay, second question. Radius of gyration of a thin rod of length L about an axis perpendicular to one of its length is. Okay, here we want to find out radius of gyration. For this, a uniform rod of length L is given. Okay, we can draw a uniform rod of length L. Okay. Then what about the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to its length? Okay. Moment of inertia about this axis, that axis which is passing through the center of the rod and perpendicular to its length. Okay. That moment of inertia, we know that I is equal to moment of inertia of the rod about an axis perpendicular to its length, that is equal to ml square divided by 12. ml square divided by 12 is the moment of inertia about this axis. Now, our question is, we want to find out the moment of inertia of the rod perpendicular to its length at one of its end. Okay, one of its ends. Okay, this is the axis. Here these two axes which are parallel to each other. So we can use parallel axis theorem. What about parallel axis theorem? Parallel axis theorem states that moment of inertia about any axis, that is equal to moment of inertia about an axis which is passing through the center of mass plus m into a square. Okay, ICM plus ma square. M is the mass of the rod and a is the distance between the two axes. Okay, m is the mass of the body. Here it's rod. A is the distance between the two axes. Okay. ICM, here center of mass which is passing, this axis which is passing through the center of mass. Therefore, ICM is equal to ml square divided by 12 plus m into A. A is the distance between these two axes. The distance between these two axes is equal to L by 2 because the first axis which is passing through the center now. Okay. M into L square divided by 4. L by 2 the whole square, that is L square by 4. On solving this, moment of inertia is equal to ml square divided by 3. Okay. On solving this, then we got the answer as ml square divided by 3. Okay. Then moment of inertia is equal to ml square divided by 3. Okay. Here we want to find out what about the radius of gyration. Okay. First of all, to find out the radius of gyration, first of all, we want to find out what about the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia I is equal to ml square divided by 3. Okay. Then what about radius of gyration? We know that the equation of moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration. Okay, that moment of inertia which is equal to moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration is mk square. Okay, this one is MCM. This is the moment of inertia in terms of radius of gyration. Okay, from these two equations, okay, I is equal to mk square and I is equal to ml square divided by 3. We can write k square is equal to L square divided by 3. Then what about k, radius of gyration? K is equal to L divided by root 3. Okay. Therefore, our answer is, what about the radius of gyration? That's our question. Radius of gyration k equal to L divided by root 3. Okay. Next question. A ring of diameter 0.4 meter. Okay. A ring of diameter that is given. Diameter D is equal to 0.4 meter. Then what about the radius? Radius is equal to 0.2 meter. And mass 40 kg. Okay, mass of the ring M is equal to 40 kg. Is rotating about an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane. Okay. Axis which is passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane at a rate of 600 rpm. 600 rpm means frequency that is given. Frequency F is equal to 600 rpm. We want to convert it into rps. Okay. That's equal to 600 divided by 60. That much rps. It's equal to 10 rps. Okay, frequency equal to 10 rps. Now, what about the angular momentum of the ring? We want to find out the angular momentum of the ring. Angular momentum L is equal to, we know that the equation for the angular momentum is equal to I omega. If we don't know about this equation, we know that the linear momentum P is equal to mass into velocity. Okay. Instead of linear momentum, we can write angular momentum. Instead of mass, we can write moment of inertia. Instead of linear velocity, we can write angular velocity. Okay. L is equal to I omega. Moment of inertia I. Moment of inertia of the ring about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane. That is equal to mr square. Okay, mr square into omega. Omega is equal to 2 pi f. Okay, that's equal to m. What about m? M is equal to 40 kg. 40 into radius that is given here. It's equal to 0.2 meter. Okay, 0.2 the whole square. That is 0.04 into 2 pi into f. F is equal to 10. That's equal to 400 into 0.04 into 2. That's equal to 0.08 pi. That's equal to 4 into 8 pi. That's equal to 32. 32 pi. 32 pi kilogram meter square divided by second. This is the value of angular momentum of the ring. Angular momentum is equal to 32 pi kilogram meter square divided by second. Okay. Moment of inertia of the rod of the ring about an axis passing perpendicular to its plane. Okay. Passing through the center and perpendicular to its plane, that is known. It's equal to mr square. Okay. Next question. Two uniform solid spheres of same material have radii 1 meter and 2 meter. Okay. Two uniform spheres having radii 1 meter and 2 meter. And these two solid spheres which are in contact, okay, they are kept contact. The distance of the center of mass of the system from the center of mass of the first sphere is, we want to find out the center of mass of the system. Okay, from the center of mass of the first sphere. Okay, that's our question. We know the equation to find out the center of mass. Equation for the center of mass, that is RCM is equal to M1 R1 plus M2 R2 divided by M1 plus M2. Okay. What about M1 and M2? M1 and M2 are not given, but they are made up of same material, that is given here. So we can find out mass. M1 is equal to, or mass is equal to volume into density. That's the equation which is used to find out M1 and M2. Okay, mass is equal to volume into density. Here we know that it's a solid sphere, so volume is equal to 4 by 3 pi R cube into density. So what about M1? M1 is equal to 4 by 3 pi into R1 cube into density. Okay. R1 is equal to, what about R1? R1 is equal to radius of the first sphere is equal to 1 meter. So we can write it as 4 by 3 pi into rho. Okay. That's equal to M. Okay. M1 is taken as 4 by 3 pi rho. That's equal to M. Then what about the mass of the second sphere? The same way we can find out M2. M2 is equal to 4 by 3 pi into R2 cube into rho. That's equal to 4 by 3 pi into 2 cube. Okay, R2 is equal to 2 meters. So 2 cube into rho. That's equal to 8 rho. 8 rho. That is equal to 8m. Okay, mass of the first sphere is m and mass of the second sphere is taken as 8m. Okay. Then M1 is equal to M into R1 plus M2. M2 is equal to 8M. Okay. 8M into R2 divided by M1 plus M2. M1 plus M2 is equal to M plus 8M. That's equal to 9M. Okay. M_R1 plus M8M_R2 divided by 9M. Okay, now what about R1 and R2? Okay, to find out R1 and R2, in our question, the distance of center of mass of the system from the center of the first sphere, that is given. So, we want to find out what about the center of mass of the system from the center of the first sphere. So, an axis is drawn here. Axis is drawn at the center of the first mass. Okay, then what about R1? From the axis to R1 is equal to 0. Okay, R1 is equal to 0. Because the axis which is passing through the center. What about R2? R2 is equal to 1 meter plus 2 meter. That's equal to 3 meter. Okay, R2 is equal to 3 meter. Okay. From the center of the first sphere to the center of the second sphere, that is equal to R2. R2 is equal to 3 meter. Okay. Now we can substitute that values. M into R1 is equal to 0 plus 8M into what about R2? R2 is equal to 3 meter. That is 3 divided by 9M. That is equal to 8 into 3, 24, 24M divided by 9M. M get cancelled. 24 divided by 9. 24 divided by 9 is equal to 2. Okay, approximately equal to 2.67. Okay, 24 divided by 9 is equal to 2.67. 2.67 meter. That's the distance of the center of mass. Okay. Distance of the center of mass of the system from the center of the first sphere, that's equal to 2.67. Okay. Next question. A body is rotating about an axis, has a moment of inertia 60 kilogram meter square. Okay. Moment of inertia I is equal to, moment of inertia I is equal to 60 kilogram meter square. Okay, a torque of 120 Newton meter act on it. Torque is given. Torque tau equal to 120 Newton meter. Okay, act on it for a time 10 second. Time interval T is equal to 1 second. Okay, 10 seconds. Okay, sorry. The change in angular velocity is, we want to find out what about the change in angular velocity. That's our question. For this, we know that torque tau is equal to I alpha. Okay. If we don't know the equation, we know that F is equal to ma. Then from that we can write, instead of force, we can write torque. Instead of mass, we can write I. Instead of angular linear acceleration, we can write angular acceleration. Then tau is equal to I into alpha. Alpha is equal to omega divided by t. Omega is the angular velocity. Okay, we want to find out the change in angular velocity. Okay, alpha can also be written as acceleration A is equal to rate of change of velocity. Similar to that, we can write A is equal to angular acceleration. Alpha is equal to d omega divided by dt. Okay, d omega by dt. So we can write here as d omega by dt. Okay, we want to find out the change in angular velocity d omega. Then d omega is equal to tau into dt divided by I. What about tau? Tau is equal to 120 Newton meter. 120 into, what about dt? dt is equal to time interval, that is 10 seconds, divided by I. Moment of inertia. Moment of inertia is equal to 60. Then 60 cancel to 120, it's equal to 2. 2 into 10 is equal to 20. Okay. D omega is equal to 20 radian per second. Okay. Unit of omega is rad per second. Radian per second. 20 radian per second is the angular velocity. Change in angular velocity. Okay. In this here, in this question, we know that tau is equal to I alpha. I alpha. Alpha is the angular acceleration. Angular acceleration is equal to rate of change of angular velocity. Okay. Then from that, angular change in angular velocity is equal to tau into dt divided by I. Okay. Then on substituting the values, we got the answer as 20 radian per second. Okay. Our next question. The shaft of a motor rotates at a rate of 60 rpm. 60 rpm means frequency. Okay, frequency F is equal to 60 rpm. That's equal to 60 divided by 60. That much rps. Okay, frequency is not. Okay, the angle through which it rotates in 1 second is. Okay, the angle through which it rotates is 1 second is. That's our question. Here the frequency F is equal to 60 by 60, that is equal to 1 rps. From 1 rotations per minute, it is clear that in 1 second it completes 1 rotation. Okay, in 1 second it completes 1 rotation. Okay, therefore we can say that, what about the angular displacement? Angular displacement theta is equal to 2 pi. Okay, 1 rps means 1 rotation in 1 second. Okay, rotations per second, that is 1 rotation is made in 1 second. Then what about the angular rotation? For 1 complete circular motion, what about the displacement? Angular displacement is equal to 2 pi. Okay. Our next question. A particle is moving uniformly along a circular path of radius 10 cm and uniform speed 20 meter per second. Okay. Radius r is equal to 10 cm and uniform speed b is equal to 20 meter per second. What will be the average acceleration in meter per second square? That's our question. When the particle completes half the revolution. When the particle completes half the revolution, what about the average acceleration of the particle? For this, we know that acceleration A is equal to rate of change of velocity. Okay. Change in velocity is equal to v1 minus v2 divided by time. Time interval is dt. Okay. What about the time interval in circular motion? Okay. Here we know that velocity is equal to distance divided by, or speed is equal to distance divided by time. From here, time t is equal to distance divided by speed. Distance is equal to 4 and half circular motion distance traveled is equal to pi r divided by v. Okay, time t is equal to pi r divided by v. We can substitute that value here. It's equal to pi r divided by v. Okay, that is equal to, what about v1? Okay, speed, the body is moving in a uniform manner. Therefore, speed at this position is like this. And here the speed is in this direction. Or velocity is in this direction. Here v1 is equal to, okay, body is moving in a uniform manner. So, v1 is equal to v, v2 is equal to minus v. Okay, velocity in the opposite direction. Then v1 minus v2, that's equal to v minus v, that's equal to 2v divided by pi into r divided by v. Okay, that's equal to 2v square divided by pi r. Okay, now we can substitute the values. 2 into v square is equal to 20 square, that is 20 into 20 divided by pi into radius r is equal to 10. Okay, then it becomes equal to 80 divided by pi. Okay, 80 by pi is the acceleration. 80 by pi, okay, that's the answer, that much meter per second square. Okay, 80 by pi meter per second square is the acceleration of the particle. Okay. In this question, first of all, we want to know what about the acceleration. Acceleration is equal to rate of change of velocity. Change in velocity is equal to v1 minus v2. We don't know what about v1 and v2. Okay, v1 minus v2 divided by. What about the time? Time t is equal to distance traveled divided by velocity or speed. But distance divided by v, okay, that's equal to, okay, when the body completes half the circular motion, distance covered is equal to pi r, then pi r divided by v. That value is substituted here, pi r divided by v, then on rearranging, okay. Before that, we want to find out what about v1 and v2. Here the body is moving with a uniform speed, so what about the velocity here? Here the velocity is in this direction, that is v1 is equal to v, and here the velocity is in this direction, that is taken as minus v. Then v1 minus v2 is equal to v minus v. It's equal to 2v divided by pi r by v. Okay, then we can substitute the values. Then the answer is 80 divided by pi meter per second square. Okay, I think these questions are clear for you. If you like this video, please subscribe and enable the bell button.